Is there anything better than one meat probe? Well, how about two, or perhaps even four? Imagine easily cooking and managing multiple types of meats or doneness simultaneously for a large group of people. This is what the MEATER Pro XL is all about, guys. Much of the core of this thing is really with the probe and the app, which I covered in detail in the MEATER 2 Plus review I did last year, so be sure to watch that first. For this video, I'm going to talk about what else the Pro XL brings to the table and not. The MEATER Pro XL retails for $350, and for that you get 1, 2, 3, 4 probes and a larger bamboo charger block, which still serves as a Wi-Fi extender for your home network, so you can use this far away. But now you have a rechargeable battery via USB-C here, no more replacing wasteful batteries. And at the front we have a capacity control pad right there with an OLED display. Hold on, I've been waiting to do this for you guys for a long time. Oh yeah. There are no magnets at the back to, store this or stick this on a metallic surface, but there is a stand where you can prop this up on a table or something. It is wide enough. I wish this was multi-position, but as it is, it's single position. Something interesting I found is when the stand is open, you can pop this little spring-loaded slot or card slot out. You can check out your serial number as well as scan the MAC address and all that for what it's worth. Now the probes are new gen like the MEATER Pro, so they're like 5 millimeters thin, stainless steel, still use Bluetooth 5.2 coded PHY. Other brands have moved on to 5.3, 5.4 for what it's worth. All 4 of these probes have 5 internal temperature sensors starting from here to the tip and an ambient temperature sensor at the end right here. This ambient temperature sensor can withstand 1000 degrees while the internal ones can do 221 degrees max, and you can just throw these in the dishwasher when you're done. Altogether, the entire unit weighs 558 grams, and battery life during my time with it, per probe per charge, I got around 22.3 hours, which is very close to the 24 hours factory estimate. One thing really nice about the block on the Pro XL, as well as other models out there on the market in a similar format, is that it allows you to choose between either Wi-Fi or as a standalone. So if you don't want to use your phone, you can just use standalone. In this case, I just tap enter on the pad right here, and you can start setting up your probes like this individually. And you can check, I'm not sure if you can see this, I hope it focuses, but each of these probes are numbered at the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it corresponds with the numbers on the screen on both the app as well as the block itself. And if you need to set up, say, probe 1, which I have removed, I just tap enter and choose the kinds of meat that I want. In this case, say fish and steak, or let's do halibut. And then here we can adjust custom target or just go with presets like USDA or something. Let's just USDA right there. And right here is the status bar. It will just show you what the progress of the cooking is. And if you need to see more information, you can see remaining cook time estimate. You can scroll through internal temp as well as ambient and target, and then you go back to your progress right there, battery levels at the top. You can see that the other probes are charging anytime you remove it. The next one prepares and is ready for the next cook. So if you want to cook fish on probe 1 and move on to steak at the same time with probe 2, you can do that as well. I would dare say that nothing is more at stake than when you have different cuts of meats going at the same time. And I'm not just talking about grilling here, guys. How cool is it that something like the Pro XL gives you the power to manage ribeyes on the Barbie, chicken in the fryer, as well as salmon baking in the oven all at the same time? Or how I like my steaks medium rare versus my wife who prefers hers well done. Happy spouse, happy house, right? It's just so helpful for workflow to have all the capabilities of one single MEATER probe duplicated 3 times over. Which actually brings me to hands down one of my favorite features, and that is the whole guided cook system in the MEATER app. Having the app, along with the readings from the 6 sensors in each probe, give you an estimated cook time and even rest time is fantastic and all. But again, multiply that convenience 4 times, and seriously guys, it takes quite a bit of the stress and guesswork out of the equation. I didn't think I would appreciate standalone mode as much as I did, but for the times I forgot my phone or was in a rush or wasn't cooking anything complicated and didn't want to deal with the app and all that, the built-in block controls, as basic as they are compared to the app, get the job done, which in the case of MEATER products tend to be all about consistency, i.e. meat that's tender and very close to, if not exactly the right doneness every single time. Now, I had mentioned in my MEATER Pro review that I wish MEATER allowed users to hand off in-progress cooks to a guest user who doesn't have a MEATER account. Like say if I needed to leave the house for whatever reason, I could pass the cook off to my son or neighbor or whoever. Standalone mode, I would say, kinda solves that, but single probe models are still kinda SOL in this case, so it would be nice to see a software solution for this. Let me address one of the biggest ongoing complaints I've seen so far for MEATER products, which is spotty or non-existent connectivity. And I would dare say that early models arguably suffered the worst, and even though it no longer seems like a predominant problem, it's happening enough that it's still worth talking about. So connectivity issues run the gamut. Sometimes a fully charged probe will not connect with the block. Sometimes the block itself suddenly drops connection to the cloud. And in either case, the device is rendered useless. I'm glad to report though that I haven't experienced any problems with the Pro XL yet. So far so good. However, on our MEATER Pro, there was a period like last quarter when the probe wouldn't connect with the block no matter what we did, like repair, we changed the battery and everything. Coincidentally, this started occurring after a firmware update, and I can't remember which that one was, but the most recent probe version 2.0.48-16 and block version ending 02.39 have made it rock solid so far. So my suggestion is, if you had problems before, you get a firmware update, the thing starts working right again, yeah, just don't touch the firmware again. Dude, what I would give for this block to be magnetized just like the smaller MEATER blocks. And sure, you can jerry-rig some magnet strips on the back of this thing and then you can use it on your fridge or stick it on the grill or something. But I'm paying $350 so that I won't have to look ghetto. The way the probes sit in their spot in the dock is very secure, I'll tell you what, and doesn't jostle loose when you transport it around. However, having these side by side so close together can make it hard for those with larger fingers or those wearing gloves to extract. It's not a huge knock by any means, let alone a deal breaker, but almost everyone who tried the XL out almost unanimously agreed on how not easy they are to remove from the block when needed, especially when you take into account slippery or oily fingers. Honestly, most kitchens will likely be fine with a single probe model like the MEATER Pro. But if you cook for a large, fussy family or host people often, or like to cook various types of protein at the same time, then the Pro XL would definitely be helpful. Regardless of which you end up with though, you'll be pushing consistently cooked meats out of the kitchen while letting the app, or the block in this case, do most of the worrying for you, which is fantastic. But that being said, do look out for connectivity issues. If that happens to your device, respond quickly with customer support to initiate RMAs or returns. Also, I think this thing is expensive, like $125, $150 higher than what I would prefer compared to say Thermo Maven or Typhor. So if you really want this, do look out for discounts.